One of the keys and secrets to the creative process is that everything creatively emerges in the mind, in consciousness, in imagination. And the dilemma and the challenge and the excitement of being an artist is how do you take concept, which is creation in the mind, emerging out of imagination, and bring it down into making it real.
Hold on, do it again, please.
Yeah, actually bring up the...
Bring it up into the, go into the light, darling. Go further back.
By her face.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me where.
Up.
And
There.
wait, you're not seeing the slate itself.
Yeah, we are.
I'm just seeing the top, not the written part.
That's not the channel. You're on the wrong channel.
You had to say that publicly? Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Ready to go? Norman?
Yes. Thank you.
Wow.
We got here.
We did.
Give your head a little shake.
A little shake?
Yeah. So, just something about emotions that I just wanted to say.
Okay.
What I found by, first of all, knowing about emotions and their power, and the fact that if I'm going to work with artists and I'm going to go beyond surface conversation, that I have to be able to drop down and start relating to them, not just in terms of ideas, then it becomes an interview. I don't interview. I'm an experientialist. If I let them in to that sanctum of what's going on, they instantaneously start to feel more trusting. But more important for me is that when we see a great artist in the act of a peak experience of creation, of conceiving something new and perceiving something new, and that's the definition of creativity. Anything that you do that creates conception, and new perception in yourself and others is creative. You don't need to be a performing artist. What's under all of that is, if we are not the creators of our own reality, we are victims of circumstance, of life. And it is an absurd reality, as you and I have spoken about. The things we have to do just to daily survive.
Right.
But what the artists are doing when they are in that peak moment, they are authoring creativity by their permission. They're not asking anyone else, as we've discussed, is it okay to do this? They are saying, I'm going to be in the vulnerability and in the intimacy with myself and in the trust with myself, that I'll give myself permission to move my arm like this. I have been shooting crazy fast, just trying to keep up with Tina, and my strobe blows up, so I'm standing there. I can shoot until we exchange packs. And rather than going back to her dressing room like most artists would do, something extraordinary begins to happen.
Tell me how good I am, man. Oh, what a ballerina. A rock and roll ballerina. This is how it looks.
So artists can reach that moment where they are in such a flow. As she's perceiving it and conceiving it, she's acting on it at the same time. So
Free to change your mind. Free to roam around anytime. Whoa. You
that person is creating reality in the moment. Therefore, it's possible. And so, in fact, the focus of my dream and my vision is to more and more provide people with demonstrable creativity happening in the spontaneity of the moment, and see someone creating their own reality out of so-called nothing.
I have a sense that you do a lot of work in your unconscious mind. It's like it's come from another part of you.
It's a part of me that is timeless. It's tapping into that that absolute, you know?
Yes.
Infinite realities, right?
Right.
I'm just experiencing the one here. You sit at a table, you start a song, 10 hours pass and it seems like 2 minutes pass. All I know is when I wrote it, I'm like, I know this.
It's like finding that thread that resonates because it's truth. So you know that.
Yeah.
You have such an intense connection to that creative force. You need to be creating for your sanity at all times.
It's making sense out of things in song or in rhythm. And some people say that's creative. I say that's just me being me.
Right.
Because that's all I know how to do.
I mean, you know, I'm real corny. You know, like, see, I think, like, I have to go out on stage every night, you know, and sometimes I feel absolutely transported, and I think I've really, it's worth doing, you know? Because my desire is that the audience will have an experiential visit to the theater. When it's most effective, it's because the audience really has a sort of transcendent experience for themselves.
Yes.
But I feel that same little thrill, you know.
Yeah,
I have it too.
By doing it?
By doing it,
okay.
And by being able to share it, give it to the audience. But over the years, when you work on the stage or you work as a performer, as I do, it's a little bit like psychotherapy anyway. Whatever you learn yourself, you bring to the stage. You know, it's a transcendental thing when it's right. That's why theater is intriguing, because it's an absolutely living experience. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I jump out on stage and I start from that moment, and 2.5 hours later it's over, it's gone, and it's just been between us. It's like a one-night stand, I suppose, although I'm not a person who's ever had one.
It's such a grace that you bring and have brought to the world, to be able to have conversations with the great creators and have those intimate experiences with them where they reveal who they are and how they work. It's such a gift. It really is a gift. I think so much of the world is in survival, especially right now, right? The thing that we need the most is creativity and the expansiveness that comes with creativity, but I think that's the impulse, is not to do that right now. It's to try to bear down, try to hold on.
Reverse into the control of the prevailing paradigm. The point is that as we are in fact moving into this new dimension with the changes happening in the brain, we are literally building receptor sites to pick up different frequencies, because that's what sensing is. It's just picking up frequencies.
And that's what I was talking about, where there seems to be a nuance for me of now different feelings. When I allow myself to be in my emotions and be comfortable there, it's interesting. I know it's happened in your sessions because I've witnessed it. When you connect like that with people and you're in your emotions, so many other energies are present in the room, you know, and you are creating a field.
That's exactly it. And it's jumping into that pool of emotion which has frequencies. They're all working together. So in my mind, where I want to go in my own creativity to discover those moments where I know I'm accessing primordial energy and I'm having new conception and new perception, and I'm bringing that into the reality. And we are not going to change until we see that in fact we do have the power to create our own reality, and the power that we have is based on our internal resources. Every emotion is a power.
And what I try to do in my music is to be able to communicate with the people what I'm feeling. And when you sing, or at least when I sing, I put myself, I guess the same as an actor, an actress, into what I'm doing.
Right.
That's the only way I can make it believe. So if I'm singing a sad song, I become sad.
Right.
I become happy when I'm into. You got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Each thing has its own little, and then you might decide to say something silly and make everybody laugh, and you go, big leg woman. Keep your dress tail down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything has its place, you know. The name of the game is to be able to get the sound, get the feeling, get the mood of whatever you're doing. And that's what I do. Now you got it.
That makes life very simple.
Yes, it does.
That's great.
It really does, brother.
Fundamental nature of creativity as the ultimate component of human consciousness. We came here to learn to create more and more our own reality consciously, and subtext, have fun doing it. The true passion for me is to discover more, and in fact to right now to learn to create my own reality. And it's not just Norman, there are dimensions that are creating realities, not this individuated physical self at this level. There are other levels, my subconscious, my unconscious, my higher dimensional selves, that are involved in creating reality, because the higher dimensional selves hold your destiny and hold the need that's very deep in us to supersede self. So it's interesting, underneath the drive for creativity, there is a deeper personal commitment, destiny to what a covenant, yeah.
Those of us who are really fortunate, we get a call. And the question then becomes whether or not we answer the call. But I just think I believed, and it was different from wanting it so bad. I knew it. I actually knew. There was never a question for me. And I do believe in the power of manifestation, and the power of creative thought, and so I knew it into existence.
I'm talking about a very, very specific mechanism that people can learn, that we are creating reality out of our beliefs, out of our emotions, and then choice and decision is how you manifest it. So belief creates the possibility, the opportunity, but choice manifests it.
When I got to college, and I started with electrical engineering, then at the end of my second year, I changed my major because I decided that I was fooling myself. And I looked in the mirror one day and said, who are you trying to kid? You have to go through that door of being a musician.
Exactly.
And so that was it. I changed my major to music composition, and I got my Bachelor of Arts in music composition.
You see, what's interesting, I don't want to go too far because we need to move on, but that choice point, because there's always on the journey, there's always the call, and then there's a point where the fear comes up. You were scared. You didn't want to...
I was scared. But at this point, the desire and the drive was stronger than the fear. I was either going to do it and succeed or do it and fail.
Right.
There was no not doing it.
But you were willing to go.
I was willing to go.
Yeah. Then your fulfillment comes out of this.
That's it, I always did. You know what, it's one of the things I learned in a rehab, that this was not first on my priority list, and that disturbed me greatly to find out that music had become not first.
Right.
And I put it back where it belongs, in the priority list.
Right.
Even when I'm do some stupid, willful stuff now, at least I learned some tactics to think things through better. I learned that you got consequences to pay.
So you made a choice in that moment.
Yeah.
What I call a fundamental choice, which changes your life.
And considering that in them days we all had a little motto, we was hope to die, dope fiends.
Yeah.
Hope to die? Holy shit, today I'm hoping to live.
Right.
That's the biggest difference to me, is today I'm living and enjoying my life.
Right.
I didn't even know how to enjoy debt, and I was ODing on a regulation basic.
Right.
So I live a lot different today than I used to when I first knew you, Norman Seeff.
Yes, I'm with you.
When I used to say to people, well, you need to get in touch with your beliefs, and they'd say, what do you mean by belief? I don't have a belief. And I'm like, I'm stunned. I'm talking, because I've worked with it for so long. What do you mean you don't have a belief? No, I have facts. So, you know what I mean? Like, okay, and I had to try and find a language, which is, no, you have an opinion. So my first 7 years, most of my creative work, I could get pictures because my eye's good, and but I wanted to get that resonance. So I spent my first 7 years learning communication dynamic. You create a space that has safety, security, trust, intimacy. And intimacy is that you are fluid and willing to be vulnerable. And once I created that foundation, my sessions became less frightening and
more fun.
More fun, and I started having intimate communications with someone. I might meet them once.
So you have been working on the Sessions Project 50 years, which is amazing. What you have amassed and gathered is a database that provides lots of information about who human beings are when they function at the higher reaches of their own potential.
Their own natural, graceful selves. It is the grace of humans is to constantly seek to supersede, to create order, and at a certain point they want to supersede that order and they create new order. It's always meant to be a dynamic, not a structure. If we don't create our own reality, the hope is not there.
Right.
The hope is that there is something bigger than me. And that's the belief that we desire for something bigger than ourselves. But the point is that the drive is there.
Yeah.
And so I'm touching the primordial drive in the people I'm working with. And Alicia Keys, from early on, she was like, hell yes, you know what I mean? Just, you know, I'm jumping into my unknown.
I'm going.
So when you go onto stage, and there is that moment of anticipation before you start, what's going on?
You have no idea what's coming up. It's all a mystery, and it's all open to seize. And something about that mystery that you'll just never know what's gonna happen is exciting to me. That sense of nervousness you feel, there's this connection, there's something that's happening. It's this thing in the air, and there's a certain liberty and freedom, and you can just take it and run with it. You just jump. You have to take the leap, and you go ahead and wherever you fall, you're gonna learn something from it.
And then when you say that leap, it's a leap into the unknown.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like the abyss.
You take that energy and you use it as a starting block, like a runner.
Like a boxer.
Like a boxer.
Well, with the dance, I've been doing it my whole life dancing. I should either step on your right foot, your left foot. I can only be 50% wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So, but boy, sometimes I stand there like I'm in a catatonic fit. I don't know what hand should I move, where should I go, or I always feel when I'm starting a movie like I'm a real amateur.
Yeah.
Like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what to do. No, I really truly get scared. I mean, I'm not talking, you know, just humble or anything. I throw up every morning when I'm doing a picture. If I don't throw up, I think, uh-oh, I'm getting overconfident.
I want to get to the source of the power. So what I'm bringing out with that is people, you have innate power that you give away to other people. You think the power is over there, therefore, or I've got to compete with them for the power. It's not in me. And that line between where is the power is the difference between a nightmare future and a dream future.
Totally.
The dreamers and the visionaries and the innovators, and you know, we're talking about creating an institute of innovation. We are going to learn the dynamics of reality creation, which includes belief, attitude, thoughts, feelings, choices, decisions, 6 tools. And those 6 tools are shaped by our imagination, and our desire, which comes out of imagination, and our expectation. That whole thing of like, oh, I had to give up expectation because I didn't want to feel...
Yeah, you didn't want to feel like
you're
upset
be
that it might not happen. I know. So don't even get excited because then, because you're going to be disappointed, so don't get excited. Yeah, I grew up that way.
You just say, go inward. Inward? Where's inward? Inward is inward. And you will discover the multi-dimensional beauty, goodness, and truth of who we are. And that's what the artists are showing us. And they're showing us another deep, deep message, is we are all creating our own reality. We are the authors of our own works, and I give myself permission to be in the authority position.
What about the voice?
Well, my voice is, now that's different. We can't talk about my voice because my voice is something that I never tried to analyze. I've always had my voice, like you've always had yours. And so it was just a question of, ever since I can remember, and this is the truth, I've always tried to emulate or appreciate sound. In other words, meaning what? Meaning I've been trying to sing. If you can sing what's in your heart and keep time, that's it.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I may not sing anything that makes sense, but I can sing notes.
Yeah, but you sing out of your heart.
And
that's where it happens, you see.
That's it. That's all I know.
Yes.
Well, I know, babe, there'll be no peace. There'll be, whoa, there'll be no peace without all men. There's one. See how easy it is to sing? Nothing to it. You can do it.
You wouldn't want to hear.
Oh, yes, I
You wouldn't want to hear my notes. But you see, what you do is that through your art, you absolutely, if it comes through your heart the way it does, it resonates in other people in the same place.
Think about how powerful it is when you meet people for the first time and you can engage on a beautiful level with people, and how much just that one exchange has a rippling effect in their lives and beyond. So journey is more and more and more inward, and I am discovering more of myself. That journey is actually, I think, the journey as to why we're really here. And when you do that, your beingness ripples. I mean, maybe that sounds so trite and so simplistic, but I actually don't think it is, because you know that one life, how one life can affect so many lives. I have been working with you, and I have seen and witnessed what an effect you have had, not only on people's lives in the love that you've shown, but in the bounty that you've brought. And so those things change lives, the trajectory of people's lives.
Thank you. I go into it with the clarity of purpose. The need that's very deep in us is for something more than us. It's human grace to supersede self. For me, the real artists were the ones that have this internal integrity. They have a set of principles inside of them that they will never ever sell themselves out for the expediency.
The larger purpose, how do I bring out the goodness, truth, and beauty in people? There was something deep inside of me that was saying you needed to challenge yourself to be the artist, which means infusing your ability with the heart. What can I say? So, thank you.
When we come back, okay?
Yeah, thank you. When you put your energy out and you look at me, there's a whole different quality that comes out of your eyes. So please keep breathing and finding your voice. You can bring your voice into the world. When you come from your heart and you come from that place of wanting to bring beauty into the world, it's the counterpoint to violence.
So the whole point is, my dream is, through the work that I'm doing and through the films that I'm shooting with artists in the act of creation, in the context of my sessions, where I work with artists to bring us all to that peak moment, so that it empowers us to be in that domain where it's safe to love and safe to be the individual we are, and it's safe to express our voice and create.
And it's an honor to expand along with you.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And if we say, you can switch off the cameras,
Brenda.
that's creating reality. Okay, cut.
All right, 3, 2.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
God bless your ass. Give me a hug, Norman Seeff.
I wasn't banking on that.
Thank you.
You're good, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think we have it. Don't you think so?
You're a bad boy, man.
I am. I hope so. Thank you for a lovely experience, my darling.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Norman. Oh, we always have a great time.
Ray, thank you so much.
Oh, come on,
it's
man.
such a
You're
pleasure.
beautiful. Thank you.
Well,
See, what I like, you did
Yeah.
just what I like. Is
Yeah.
Get in there and let's do it.
yes, yes.
No time, man, because I come to work. When I play, I play.
Yeah.
But when I work, I work.
Yes,
I like that.
You got my heart.
yes, thank you.